Homelessness is a big and growing problem in San Diego. More and more people are living on the streets, and mental illness is all too common among them. That means more people who are in mental health crisis who aren't getting any kind of treatment. Karen Standard was one of those people, but she was lucky and got help. Now she's back out on the streets, helping others.
I kind of feel like I'm everybody's worst nightmare because I'm the last person anybody would have thought this would have happened to.
Karen Standard knows all too well what it's like to live on the streets.
You don't exist. You have no value. How dare you be here? How dare you take up space on the planet? How are you guys doing?
Karen doesn't ignore people who are on the streets, approaching them with a disarming kindness.
Can you hold this for me?
She brings hygiene kits and information.
You guys can get your flu vaccination or your Hep A. You know, I wasn't filthy. I wasn't smelling. I was discreet about everything. That's how I stayed safe. But no, there was no one coming up and saying, hey, would you like something to drink? Do you need some water? Would you like something to eat? Can I help you? No, that didn't happen.
Karen had a career and multiple college degrees, but it wasn't enough. Her life fell apart in a perfect storm of deaths, divorce, and abandonment.
It was just grief took over. Just lost my mind.
So you had a mental health crisis triggered by all these things?
I absolutely did. The first night that I found myself just sitting on a hard bench in front of a library and I'm watching the sun go down and I'm going, okay, this is it. I might not make it. According to the National Institute on Mental Health, about 45% of the homeless population has some history of mental health diagnosis. 20 to 25% of them have a severe mental illness. That's compared to about 6% of the general population. Making matters worse, it's estimated 33% of those homeless with a severe mental illness aren't getting any kind of treatment.
I think getting them to some place is the first challenge.
One of the missions of the Family Health Centers of San Diego is helping the homeless who are mentally ill. That takes persistence, patience, and outreach.
They're establishing the trust. They're meeting them on their ground with their needs met, their needs for that day. We have mental health staff that are on site at the tenants, and we also have our homeless outreach workers that are on the streets.
I'm gonna go get the prescription.
Family health centers offer many services to the community at large, and that includes the homeless population. They can get medical, dental, and now vision care. They do offer mental health services as well, and they've learned about half of the people living in local shelters are suffering from severe depression. It's a staggering, if not surprising, number when you consider the realities of being on the streets and society's general attitude about the problem.
I think we're looking at homeless in one big bucket, the homeless. Got to get rid of the homeless, got to get them off the streets.
It's a complicated problem. Rising housing costs, rising healthcare costs, addiction problems, and no more state institutions, and not nearly enough residential care.
I think the biggest misconception is there's got to be a quick fix out there.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Karen, nice to meet you.
There's no quick fix for the bigger problem, but there are some remarkably fast paths to success like Karen's, which started when she met outreach workers from family health centers.
Those very same outreach workers engaged with her on a bench when she had lost all hope, and she was homeless for years. And we facilitated her entry into the San Diego Rescue Mission. She stayed there for a long time.
I just started showing up because I could tell they cared and they were real and I could trust them.
That's that trust that Fran Butler Cohen was talking about, that Karen gave as a client and is now earning as an employee.
My job as a peer support specialist is to reach out to those that are homeless. They can learn something and they can have some fun at the end, because the last thing you do on the street is laugh.
Yeah.
Like really laugh. It's to remind them you are part of something much greater than just your circumstance. You know, you are part of a community. Thank you. You can make a difference. It doesn't have to end here.
Up next, why been there and done that is sometimes the best thing someone coming out of crisis can hear.